Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Pop Culture News and Reviews. My name's Anthony. We're joined by Sevi.
Hello.
Sevi, man, how you going?
Mate, I'm great. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. If you can talk into the mic, always helps. Guys, we will bring you all the news, the world of pop culture, every week. That's what we're doing. That's what you're tuning in for. And we have a lot. We have a lot this week.
We have a bit.
There's a fair bit there. So we'll probably just get straight into that. Usually we say, Sevi, have you watched anything? I know you worked insane hours this week, so I hope you didn't watch anything because that means you're watching stuff while driving and you should
I have not
be
watched a
doing
thing.
that. Yeah.
So what did you watch?
Oh, well, I've, I know you hate this. I've been reading books. I know.
I swear to God, if this is a book that has a show or a movie, I'm going to lose it.
Well, it does have a movie. It's the Maze Runner series.
Go watch Dylan O'Brien.
Stop. I'm on the last book of that trilogy. So there were
Is that the last
3
movie?
movies. Yeah, it's The Death Cure.
So go watch that because it's got
movie.
Walton Goggins in it.
It does, but I haven't actually seen all of The Death Cure yet. But I'm reading the books, and especially the second one, The Scorch Trial. It just ended up being like in year 10 or whatever, when your teachers told you to read a book and do a book report, and you've read like the first like chapter, and then you've gotten busy, forgotten that the ding's due, and gone, you know what? I'll just take a run at it anyway. I haven't read the book, but I know who the characters are. This is what I think is going to happen.
What do they call it? The blurb. You read the blurb.
That's what the movie feels like. Like just that someone knew the names of the characters and their general what they might do, and just went, this is what I think might happen, and then made a movie.
That works.
Instead of actually reading the book, because the book was so different. Like, it was so different.
Wasn't Harry Potter like that as well, though? But Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or something was one of the big ones.
Harry
really
Potter,
different to the
difference between like, especially like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings as well, but Lord of the Rings, the standard cut was actually very similar, very close to what it needed to be. But it's more that they take out plot elements to reduce time.
Okay. So they're choppy.
So they'll find a character and go, actually, if we take out every scene this character's in, nothing in the plot changes, but it takes this much time out. Yeah. You know?
Why didn't they do that in Indiana Jones? They could have just pulled Indy out of the whole thing and the movie would have just still played out the same.
Yeah.
Save time.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, like the whole like thing about the Scorch trials being an actual trial, I think got lost in the movie kind of thing. The cranks are different. They're cooler in the books. Like the zombie guys.
How?
So
That's
like
you're judging that on your imagination.
No, I'm not. I'm judging that on the fact that the way cranks are in the book is that you slowly become one over time. So when you're out there, you're coming across people who are becoming one, but not actually full blown gone.
Yeah. So what with this? What I don't remember. I've only seen each of the movies once, and because they were so distance apart, I don't even remember any of them really. How did the world become like it is?
So there was a solar flares that started happening.
Oh no, that's real.
Which changed the. This is what's terrifying, man.
That's got me scared.
It heated up the globe at the equator, and it became like a barren wasteland area, like across the equator of the world.
Yeah.
But it also affected climate from there on as well.
As it would.
Yeah. Started having like massive storms and everything like that. So that happened, but part of something that got hit was the Center of Disease Control, which had developed a virus which got released that they didn't have a cure for, which was they call the flare, which makes the cranks, but it's actually a man-made virus that affects people.
So they tried to blame. So they tried to blame the sun, but really it wasn't the sun at all. It was people being idiots.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Roger.
And the actual virus, the flare, it attacks your brain. So that's what makes you turn into that, is that it makes you more animalistic.
Yep.
So it removes all your cognitive kind of dissociations. At first, it starts making you just like cranky, which is why they're called cranks.
Yeah.
Starts making you angry, and then starts making you not care about the repercussions of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you just like, but also heightens everything. So if you feel sad, you feel really sad. If you feel angry, you're going to kill someone. Like,
yeah, right.
It goes down that path eventually until you just become like the zombies you see in the movie, but they're people who don't care anymore.
And they just decide to lock children in a maze and...
So the reason they did that is because the virus affects your brain. There were kids who were born that were immune to the virus, and they put them in the maze with guys who weren't immune to it as like control versus kind of thing to see.
Right.
And what they're measuring are your brain patterns when you're put in different scenarios. So they want to see why these people's brains are, because the way it goes is that if you're thinking more, the virus is more active.
Yep.
So if you're like put under stress, the virus attacks you faster.
Yeah. Yep,
which is why that drug in the movie and in the book helps them, because it just like slows your brain down.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually cure you; it just keeps you from turning longer. So the reason
so
the
it
kids
just slows it down.
The reason the kids are put in the maze is because they're studying how their brains are acting on why immune people are able to carry the disease and not be affected. Whereas, so it's about putting them through a situation. It's airborne.
So everyone's got it.
So in the last book, they go to Denver, which has been completely locked down. And when you're reading about it, I think it happens in the movie as well, but when you're reading about it, like especially now, I'm like, there's quarantine checkpoints. They're talking about it being airborne. They find someone who's got it and they have to contact trace it. Denver thinks
it's been planned the whole time.
It's closed its borders off, right? But there's people in high positions that have got it, and the disease is actually running rampant, but no one's getting told about it because they're on bliss, they're on the drug.
Victoria?
This is the issue, man. I'm reading it, I'm like, oh God.
Oh, this is what Gladys did in New South Wales.
Yeah.
Oh, Gladys losing the plot.
Jeez, man. But yeah, so that brought it home a little bit. Like reading that and being like, oh man, this is COVID.
It's all making sense now.
But it's funny where like things like these in like apocalyptic scenarios and stuff, now that we've kind of we're living through a pandemic essentially.
I thought you were going to say now we're living through an apocalypse. I'm like, oh, what?
We'll revisit this in a few years. There's still time.
Episode 300.
Yeah. But like you're seeing everyone's responses, and some authors are getting it pretty close to what the government responses are.
Well, and that's the thing. Like everyone thinks, oh, it's been planned. No. People are just doing research on what would happen, and they're talking to the right people, because these specialists have got to know what to do if something like that happens.
Their plans just don't come out of nowhere.
No, like they plan these for 20 years plus. So they've got to know what to do if something like this happens. So they're just talking to the right people. They're talking to the people in the know to make a movie. Yeah. And then it gets scary because like, oh no, it's the same. It's like, well, duh.
Yeah. Well, it's like there was, right after the COVID thing happened, there was a show which ended up getting blown up, which was released earlier, where their big thing was that the coronavirus had gone like pandemic levels of, but this was in 2018.
Yeah.
And everyone's freaking out being like, how did they know about it back then? It's like, because the coronavirus is still a virus back then.
That's right.
They've just picked a random virus and said, what if this was a pandemic? And everyone's like, oh, they're time travelers. Like, no.
Or the government's gone, yes, pandemic.
Coronavirus do that? Someone look into that.
Hey, can we make more money out of this? How do we do this?
See, I'm still lost on the whole like conspiracy theorist on that one, where they're like, oh, the government's done it to. I'm like, I don't think it's benefit the government at all.
Mate,
like, I can't see the benefits here.
Bill Burr put it perfectly on Conan.
Usually does.
He said the government, you got all these bloody crazy people saying that, oh, the vaccine's going to kill us, it's going to kill us, blah, blah, blah. It's like, the government wouldn't do that to the sheeple. The government wants to keep these sheeple alive because they'll do what they say.
Yeah, if they're saying, like, line up and get a vaccine, they're not going to hurt the people who line up.
No, because they're the people that are doing what they're told.
Yeah. So high chance the vax is what's going to help you.
Yeah. And then that's what Bill Burr said. He goes, they'll basically release this. You'll get your jabs and all that, and then they'll release something else that'll kill off all the Fonzies that hit the jukebox to get it working and things like that. It'll kill off all the rebels, and then all your sheep will survive. It's like, well, I'm happy to be a sheeple. I'm alive.
You know, I saw a I don't know if it was Hot Toys. It might have been might have been Sideshow.
They've made a Bill Burr toy.
Yeah. Yeah, they have for the Mando.
You know what's funny is getting released June next year is a Cobb Vanth.
Nice.
I'm getting it.
You're all on that, are you?
I'm all over that. I'm on the Timothy Oliphant train on that one.
Yeah, you're gonna have him like
I'm playing
set up to duel your Mando.
Well, no, because he's only little. He's only like one of the those little.
Oh, like the Legends figures kind of thing.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. I think it's a Legends figure for Star Wars.
Yeah, so it'd be like Hasbro.
Star Wars style. Yeah. So that's what it is, and it looks like Timothy Oliphant. It looks like Cobb Vanth.
Those Legends toys, man, they're pretty accurate all the time. Like,
well, I want to
pretty good. It's just
it's the same as the McFarlane ones for DC, because I want to get all the Snyder Cut McFarlane toys.
Yeah.
So you get like Steppenwolf, Darkseid, and then the rest of them.
Well, let's use that to pivot into our first bit of news, man, which is about the Snyder Cut, which I didn't put on the board. I do just want to touch on this quickly, though.
You're hitting me without something that I don't know. This is not fair.
I am, but it's getting us into the news instead of talking about the toys you want to buy, which I don't think people want to know about.
Everyone likes toys that we want to buy.
Talking about
everyone.
So Ava Duva, who was... She was hired to do New Gods.
Oh, I see this. I know where you're going. Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Says her movie was killed because the Snyder Cut got released.
Lies.
No, it's been verified.
But Warner Bros. Had nothing to do with the Snyder Cut.
No, it's that they were concerned about them showing Darkseid in something and then having Darkseid come out in a movie with the New Gods.
We'll just use the same Darkseid. So
or don't. This is the thing.
Multiple Darksides. It doesn't matter.
Next year, I think we're going to have 3 Batmen.
Exactly.
Out there in the movie.
We're going to have 3 Flash.
It shouldn't matter.
We've got 3 Flash played by the same actor. We've got 3 Spider-Men. What does it matter?
Yeah, no. But Warner Brothers was still in that mindset of... Because they're only just breaking out of that mindset for their TV too.
Oh, they're just idiots.
Remember they're in that mindset of if something's on the TV, you can't have it in the movies?
Yep.
So...
Yeah, well, that Soups broke that. And that was... I remember that was such a massive thing when Tyler got cast as Soups in Supergirl and we had Henry and it's like, we've got 2 Supermen. What? It's like, it's not that big of a deal.
Well,
it's different universes. We got a multiverse.
Arrow that struggled with it. Because they were like, oh, Arrow can have this person. You can't have Deathstroke anymore because we're going to use him.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
they did.
They
it
had a
before
teaser for Harley.
Didn't they do it? Yeah, and they also did it with Deadshot as well.
Yeah,
he showed up early, and then they killed him off, and then brought him in to the Suicide Squad.
He was good.
Yeah, he was
because he was from
the cowboy style one.
Yeah,
like a Lone Ranger style Deadshot, yeah.
Was he first season?
I think he might have been.
I think he might have been first season, yeah. Because then he ended up being in the Suicide Squad as well that they did.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
With
Bronze Tiger, maybe? You got the cutout of Harley. No, you don't want her, she's crazy. Or something like that.
Yeah, that was good. Was that Tara Strong who did that voice?
I don't know. It would have been awesome if it was.
Because it was just her voice in the background.
It would have been awesome if she got cast too. Like that would be cool.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you remember, fast forward a little bit, you get Kevin Conroy as Batman in the crossover.
Yes.
So why not do it?
So we have another crossover coming up as well for DC TV. I'm not sure we're fully. I don't know. I might.
Because I think we watched the last crossover and we weren't fully across all the shows, but it sort of just worked.
I was across more than you at that point.
Okay.
Because I was still watching. No, because I watched the end of the Arrow season. And that's the last crossover. It was how Arrow finished.
Yeah.
So I'd watched Arrow leading up to it.
Was that the end?
Yeah, I'd what? To what?
Diggle got the ring.
That was the crossover.
Okay, so that's where I watched. Okay,
that was
so yeah,
that was the last episode of the crossover. Yeah. No. Yeah, it wasn't good. Anyway,
so I stopped in the right spot then.
No, season 8 of Arrow actually wasn't bad.
Even when Oliver wasn't in it at the end.
No, because they were doing like his greatest hits essentially. So every episode was dedicated to like one of the seasons, pretty much.
Oh, really?
And you'd get like flashbacks of characters coming back and everything, and it was really well done. His season 8 was really good.
Did Slade come back?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
To find his son, remember?
That was earlier on in the season.
Yeah, that was season 8. That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the end of season 8 because
that was it. Season 8. Season 8 was only like 8 episodes.
But didn't it keep going after that with Mia for a couple of episodes without Oliver in it?
One episode.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the one I haven't watched.
Yeah, because they were testing the water for their like spin-off or whatever.
That got canned, didn't it?
Which, yeah, it did. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway, look, we'll stay on that news. Speaking of crossovers and everything, you've got a Supergirl character coming into Superman and Lois next year, which is
it really a crossover?
Well, it is, because it looked like for a while there, Superman and Lois were trying to distance themselves from the other CW TV shows, but then Diggle showed up in one episode and everyone was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But now you've got Jenna Dewan, otherwise known as, I'm pretty sure, Channing Tatum's wife.
Ex-wife,
there we go.
Ex-wife.
Who was Lucy Lane.
Lucy. In
the first season of Supergirl. And I have to say, she was great.
Yeah.
She was really good in that. So she'll be coming back. Now, she wasn't in the second or rest of Supergirl because she didn't want to move to Vancouver.
Fair enough.
Because the first season of Supergirl was on, I'm going to get this wrong, but I think it was CBS or something like that.
So now she's single. She can move.
Maybe wants to now. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. New life.
But either way, is going to go to, and it makes sense for her too as well, because she's what, Lois Lane's sister.
Yeah.
Sam's daughter. Makes sense in the storyline, you know. Show up, be the cool aunt. Bang.
Yeah, the badass one that tells them to run wild.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to watch it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
look, I'm probably going to finish it soon. I'll get to it.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
I'll find another book to read.
How are you going with Lost in Space?
Have not watched TV, man.
See, there you go. You ain't getting around to Superman and Lois.
Yeah, but there's a difference. I watched Lost in Space with my missus. If Superman and Lois ends up on one of the streaming services on my phone, I'll probably end up watching it somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a bit like that. Anyway, speaking of streaming services available on my phone, I will definitely be making time and watching Percy Jackson when it comes out. I was actually talking to a... this is going to sound bad. How do I... No, anyway. My kid has birthday parties he goes to, you know, so you see the same parents and the same, like, their kids.
Yeah.
There every time, you know. So there was a girl at the last one who's like, I don't know, teenager or something, reading Harry Potter. So, you know, we'll talk to you about Harry Potter, as you do. And I was selling her on the idea that Percy Jackson's better than Harry Potter. So I was going hard with it too. I
would already agree with you, and that's with the terrible movies. I would already agree. I just don't like Harry Potter, but hey, it is what it is.
That's my unpopular opinion, but I'm selling the children of the world on it.
It's not unpopular. I back it. That makes it popular.
Well, because you back it, it probably makes it less popular. If I'm honest, you've just
heard it here first. Percy Jackson's better than Harry Potter.
Look, that's the way I see it.
The way I see it is Percy Jackson seems like he's I don't know, he seems cool. Harry Potter just seems like a dweeb.
Look, my partner was actually arguing with me about it, and she would because she's a massive Harry Potter fan. But what I tried to explain to her is that
she was wrong.
Yes, but putting it tactfully, right?
Okay, yeah.
I think I'm a pretty good person to come across this opinion because I've watched all the Harry Potter movies many times. I've read the books many times, but I've also read the entire Percy Jackson series many times.
And watched the horrible movies a couple of times.
Whereas, Alexander Dario and Logan Lerman did a very good job in that.
Yeah.
So
winning.
They got me over the line watching that a few more times. But it was the point that I've consumed both of these a lot to be able to, I think, form a valid opinion on
which is better.
Which is, I know for a fact she hasn't read the Percy Jackson books. So to have someone come and say, no, Harry Potter's definitely better, I'm like, no, you don't really have an argument here.
Yeah.
That'd be like me arguing saying this movie's better than one I haven't seen.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And just basing it off the two movies, no, you can't do that.
No, you can't. Not
anyway,
at
all. That's my tangent there, but that's my belief. I'm educating the world here saying that
I've got
Percy
you back,
Jackson
mate. I'll back you up on this one.
Is better than Harry Potter, and the reason we're talking about this is
I'm going to say, hey, before you get into it, that's the name of this week's show right there. Percy Jackson is better than Harry Potter.
Better than Harry Potter. All right, done.
There you go. Don't forget it.
The series has picked up James Boban as the pilot director. So he did the Dora Explorer movie that got...
Okay, can you throw anything else out there that I might know?
That's all I got so far.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. We can do a quick Google search on him.
He also did Muppets Most Wanted. I'm not holding much.
Wait, Muppets Most Wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one with the dude from
he
Flight
did the
of
Muppets and its sequel, Muppets Most Wanted.
Dude, the Muppet movies were good. Like, they were, like, really meta.
Okay.
Like, they had those, like, real dual layer jokes where they were like, look, this is a kid's property, but everyone who likes the Muppets is older now. So they're able to work it really well. It's why they had Jason Segel was really good in that. And Brett from Fly the Conchords.
Yep.
Who ended up doing a song. What was it? I'm a Muppet or a Man? It was really good. Anyway. He has Rick Riordan's approval, is what he wants. So Riordan is the guy who wrote all the the Percy Jackson books.
Yep.
And he's gone with our pilot director will be James Boban, who is a terrific person and incredibly talented director who checks all the boxes we're hoping for in a partner. James knows the Percy books well. His kids are huge fans. His humor is wonderful. We're in good hands, and we're lucky to have him join the team. Now, this has actually got me a lot more interested because I'd heard that the author Rick Riordan had actually stepped away from the series. Which
I think we spoke about that, I think.
It sounds like he's back there working on it. So whatever he disagreed with has possibly got sorted as well.
Yeah, money.
No, he's pretty
Someone's
good
offered
for money,
him cash
man.
To come in.
I think he's pretty good for money, but
what
I'm liking is
that money. More money always helps.
Yeah, you've got it. But it's good. Like they're even saying, like, yeah, Rick Riordan's blog lately has become more positive about it, which means he's working on it more.
Yeah, Roger.
That's what you want. You want the author to be working on it instead of stepping away, because when they step away, that's when you get seasons 6, 7, and 8 of Game of Thrones. Anyway, Percy Jackson, guys, better than Harry Potter. Get onto it when it comes.
Have you seen? Did you happen to see the new set photos for The Last of Us?
Yes.
that got released.
Yes, I did.
They look awesome. This set
Speaking of Game of Thrones,
is great.
yeah, like this is looking good.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Last of Us. Gotta be honest, I didn't play the game.
I don't know much either. I know a little bit, but not much because I played it a little bit, but it wasn't sort of what I wanted. But I always thought that, hey, this could be a wicked TV show. And ta-da.
So the zombie creature things are looking...
They're like fungus.
Yeah. But Bella Ramsey, obviously, that's what we see with the Game of Thrones link there.
Yep. And
playing
Pedro
Ellie,
Pascal.
is it? Pedro Pascal, that's got to sell it for you right there, doesn't it?
The Mando himself without a helmet and an M4.
King.
He's ready to shoot zombies.
Anyway, these little set photos look awesome. We also got... All right, so this is a little touch on Marvel here. We got a promo image for Miss Marvel earlier in the week, which someone found, which is showing her powers looking a little different to what we're used to. So
yeah, I'm not sure I like it.
So it seems to be when she uses her powers, it's getting some kind of energy projection instead of her actual powers looking like they do in the comics, which is a lot like, if people don't know, it's a lot like Reed Richards. She just stretches, makes herself bigger, uses her powers in that way. But this is looking like some kind of energy thing. I don't know what's going on, but yeah,
I'm not a fan.
What to think here. Look, I'll wait to see how it's done. It might not be energy. It might just be her skin changes to that color when she uses it to expand.
Well, it's like, is she a lantern? That's all I'm getting from those photos. Is she looks like she's one of the lanterns now.
Well, like I said, man, it might just be her skin color changing.
Well, I hope so. But I don't think it will be. I think they've tried to go a new colourful Marvel route and a less creepy, growy hand route, and it's not going to work.
Yeah. I mean, it could just be that, its skin doesn't look that good when it's stretched out like that.
It shouldn't matter. Just do it properly.
Yeah. Yeah, look, we'll see what happens. I'm still excited because I like the character, so we'll find out what happens. Speaking of Marvel, we got Jeremy Renner talking in an interview with, who was it? It was Jimmy Kimmel, about when Hawkeye's set. So he goes, it's set in Christmas, we knew that, but it's set when it's released. So he's like, in the scope of the Marvel cinematic universe or whatever, it just happens like bang, it's released.
And it's over a week. That's it.
Yeah, a week.
It happens during a week. And
he also told the story of how he never took any props from the set. Did you hear this?
No.
So he was like, they asked him, have you got like an arrow or something, or did you take anything? He's like, no, they told us not to take anything, so I didn't. Like, my mum told me that you shouldn't take things, so I didn't, like, kind of thing. He goes, whereas, Chris Hemsworth has a bloody hammer in every room of his house.
Yeah, he's got every Thor hammer ever made.
Yeah. So he apparently...
I'm pretty sure he's using one as a toilet roll holder as well.
Yeah, there's one in his there's definitely one in his toilet. I've seen that photo. But then Jeremy Renner's like, oh, well, he had to be the valet at his kid's school. Valet, something like that. So it was that, wouldn't be valet, it'd be something else. But they have a parent who's on a roster every week to be the person who checks people who are coming in, takes them to their classroom, all that kind of stuff when they're late.
Yeah.
So a parent does that, and it was his turn. So he was like, all right, well, if I'm going to do this, I'll do it dressed as Hawkeye.
That's cool.
Yeah. So he asked the production, and they gave him the suit and everything. He's like, and they haven't asked for the suit back. So that's mine now.
Keep it, yeah.
He's like, I didn't steal it. They gave it to me, and they haven't asked for it back.
Now they will ask because he's made it public.
Yeah. There's someone sitting in costumes right now going, oh, man, look, we were happy to let it slide, but you've got it out there now, man.
We need it back. You spoke about it.
What else do we have here? Oh, mate. We had the trailer for season 2 of The Witcher drop. And I'll say it, Cavill looks good.
When doesn't he?
Oh, man. That was just obvious that was going to happen, wasn't it? This looks bananas. This looks great. Absolutely game for this.
Yeah.
What do you think?
They've stepped it up. The visual effects look so much better. Everything just looks... And you get to see him kick ass again. It's like, how did these guys in the first season not learn? Like, these guys are still trying to fight him. Like, does word not spread?
What I'm getting, I don't know if it's just that they've cut the trailer together in a certain way, but I'm hoping it's this way because what I felt lacked in the first season a little bit was monsters.
Oh, 100%.
And he's the Witcher.
Yeah, he's a monster hunter. He hunts monsters.
Yeah, whereas we got, like, I think 2, maybe?
What did we get? We got the spider.
Yeah, we got the spider in the thing.
We got that weird horn thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to count him.
The banshee.
The banshee and the dragon at the end, which he wasn't a part of, was he?
Dragon?
Wasn't there a dragon at the end? That was... No, I was thinking of the flames and stuff from the castle. So it wasn't a dragon. I need to watch this series again. But not enough monsters, I remember, was my complaint. And it looks like we're getting more monsters from this trailer.
Good.
Which...
Or let's think about it. Are they subtly saying that the people are the monsters? All the people he kills are the monsters.
Yeah. I mean...
Think about it.
No, you throw a coin to the Witcher, you want your monsters killed. I want to see monsters killed. You know?
We are. They're people. We are the monsters. Henry's destroying all the monsters.
I just don't feel like Henry's needed to destroy people.
That's a fair point.
Anyway,
bring him in for the bigger stuff.
Exactly right. That's what you pay your coin for.
Yeah, that's right. You toss a coin and that's it.
So we do know we're going to see more witches as well, which is cool. We'll get into the lore a bit more, which could be awesome. This is actually a book series I've been meaning to get to as well, because the whole, like, from what I've seen, looks cool. So that'll probably be the next book series I hit, to be honest.
Yeah, do it.
But The Witcher Season 2 will hit before them. So that's December, right? I can't remember that now.
Yeah, December 7th, I think.
But it's Netflix, so it looks like they're going to hit it all in one weekend. So it's probably going to be a one shot for us. But that's a hard weekend, man. Like, it's a hard weekend.
Not for me. I'm smashing that out.
No, you'll be hard.
I'm gonna have a full week. I'm gonna have a full week off. I'm gonna have just the week off work when it drops,
and the week after to recover.
I'm just trying to flick through just to see when it does, because they did say on the end of the trailer. I'm just trying to read through quickly to see when it does. I think it is.
You're right.
December
I think it was 7th. Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
Let's jump across to movie news while you're doing that. No, actually, games news. We'll get up to games news because The Witcher was a game, so we got a little bit.
December
of December
17th,
here, which is
I got the 7 right. It's the 17th.
17th. Yeah, actually, that makes more sense. Game news we have is that Skydance. So Skydance was Skydance, however you want to say it.
Skydance. Oh, we're going to dance, sir.
Anyway, responsible for the Uncharted series. These guys.
Good series. Good series.
Have announced that they're working on a Marvel game, which is going to be a original kind of one character story. Speculation running wild about who it is. A lot of people say they want to see it be Magneto, Wanda, bunch of stuff there. I would actually think it'd be cool if they did a Sam Wilson Cap game. You know, like, I'd have him, like, your first one would be him fully done as, like, in the full suit and everything. You go through your first mission and then have him, like, disavowed. So he has to go back to being the Falcon and then work his way back to being Cap.
He gets framed by someone or something like that.
Something like that. So then you've got to have him, like, doing the whole shadow ops stuff to get his name back and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he gets discredited or something like that. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. And then have to go to the Winter Soldier for help and all that kind of stuff, the Black Widow. Really have it be like that down and dirty spy kind of having to infiltrate and do that kind of stuff. And then, suit up and it be like, a terrorist organization he's going to take down in the end or something. I think it'd work. Anyway, that'd be my idea for a Marvel character.
I'm just keen to play I'm just want him to hurry up with Wolverine.
Yeah. So that's Naughty Dog, isn't it? Or Insomniac?
Insomniac, same as Spider-Man.
Yeah. Speaking of Marvel games, though, Guardians of the Galaxy is getting a lot of love. Have you seen this?
I have seen it. I have seen the love that it is getting.
People go crazy over that. Is that
I've been tempted to buy it, but I'm not
exclusive?
Sure. So,
Is that console exclusive? Like
PlayStation, I think.
Generation exclusive?
I think it's PS5. I think it's just play it. Nah, it might be. I don't know.
Either way, I think you should do it, man. Get it.
You should do it.
See how it goes. Well, I don't have PS5, so
that seems like a you problem, and it seems like something that you should fix.
Nah. As soon as I get it,
your children need it. Your children need it.
They do not.
They do.
Anyway, let's jump into movie news. We're on Marvel stuff, so we'll start with the Marvel news, which is Eternals. Let's talk about this quickly. So the Eternals has had its Rotten Tomatoes score release. So this is an amalgamation of all the critics, just the critics, because it hasn't been released yet, so it's just the critic reviews. It dropped to Rotten for about a couple of hours. So Rotten is anything below 60%, so it hit 59, and then it's jumped back up to 60. I think it's currently sitting on 60 right now. And everyone's saying it's the worst reviewed Marvel movie in the MCU.
Okay, by Rotten Tomatoes.
By Rotten Tomatoes, so by the
Which
critics.
means the movie will be amazing. Heard it here first. The movie's great.
Well, this is what I was looking at, because by Rotten Tomatoes estimate, Man of Steel sits at about 58. And look, I'll be honest, I didn't think it was a great Superman movie. I thought it could have been a better Superman movie. I didn't think it needed to be as heavy with the Christian stuff that it was, but it still wasn't a bad movie.
No.
It wasn't a movie that I'd say this is a rotten movie. Like, as far as movies go, it was a great movie.
It was great.
I don't know, man. Like, these critics, it's hard to... Anyway, it's like the old thing, isn't it? Make up your own mind. Go see it.
That's right. Go watch it. We'll probably watch it this week sometime.
Yeah, well, it drops the 5th.
Middle of the friggin' week.
It's always, man, Thursdays. I don't know why it is.
Friday.
Thursdays.
The 5th's a Friday.
So it hits Thursday here.
So 4th.
It'll be... I think it's actually 3rd you can go see it here. Usually Wednesday night you can go. But anyway, what we'll probably do is give it a week if we're going to review it. So we like to give it a week so everyone's got time.
And it gives us time.
You'll get it the week after probably from us. Anyway, Eternals looks, I don't know. I think it looks all right. So I'm keen to see it still.
Release date for Eternals in Australia says the 28th of October.
No, it's not out right now.
That's what I thought.
Nah.
But I've just typed in the Eternals release date Australia, 28th of October.
Oh, there you go. Go see it. No, it's. I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd anyway. What else do we have here? We've got Captain Marvel. So this is more Marvel news. Let's stick on that. Captain Marvel has some villain rumors
Shazam
swirling around for it. Captain Marvel 2. What we've got here is news of, or a rumor of who Zoe Ashton could be playing. So she was announced earlier as the person playing a villain in here.
Yep.
The name we've got thrown to it is Kree General Aeldan, sorry. Not a really well-known character, if we're honest. Like, this is a character who I think lasted about a year in the comics.
Yeah.
As just like someone who overthrew an empire with the help of a general, framed the Silver Surfer, which is an interesting narrative.
How do you frame the Silver Surfer, who's a galactic, basically god?
So killed. It was a general who killed their leader, but was able to tell the Kree Empire that it was the Silver Surfer who did it.
Yep.
And then take control of the Kree Empire.
Yeah, right.
Through that. Was eventually, I think, killed by Deathbird, who's the Shire Empire. They've got links to X-Men. So what's interesting is that this character has links to Galactus, essentially.
Yep.
And to the X-Men.
Oh, right.
Universe.
Oh.
So, you know.
Just
all I'm saying is...
Just Salt Bay and some X-Men in there.
All I'm saying is that it's been happening, though. Hasn't it? Like, it's these little X-Men tangents that, like having Madripoor in the Falcon and Soldier series. Just these little X-Men things, you know? Anyway. Could be a cool narrative. Either way, the Kree are enemies of the Skrulls. That's like your big cosmic conflict, Kree versus Skrull.
Yep.
Up until this point, we haven't had much Kree in the MCU. So if that's what we're getting and that's what we're going to see, I'm keen to see that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of the cosmic side of Marvel, we've also been told that Nova will be going into production in 2023. So Nova, if they're going with Richard Rider, they're pretty much set up perfectly. Yeah, I know. Big Rider.
Who thought of that? That's just so stupid.
It's amazing, right?
Wow.
If that's the character they're going with, it's set up perfectly because Xandor was destroyed.
Yeah.
Essentially, you know? In the last pretty much installment of Marvel, wasn't it? In Endgame. It's that the Titan went and destroyed Xandor to take the stone.
Yep.
And Richard Rider is the last of his people, pretty much. Xandor gets destroyed. He's like the last Nova Corps person out there. So set up pretty well for that, I reckon. So that's probably where we'd be going with Nova. We've also been told, so we got a little bit of Marvel news here. Let's just go through it. Shang Chi is in development for Shang Chi 2.
Good, as it should be.
Yep, definitely should be. Fantastic Four, they're saying will film in 2023.
Bring on Mr. Krasinski.
Well, hey, Henry Cavill is Doctor Doom.
But hey, if you were going to cast anyone, who would you cast as Mr. Fantastic?
It depends, man. Like, it's hard to say.
Because he just looks perfect.
Yeah, but it's like, are we going for younger? Are we going for older? You know what I mean? Like,
didn't they try younger and it flopped?
Yeah, but look, I think they're going to try older because I think they're going to try and hit more on the kids than the Fantastic Four themselves.
Oh, you reckon?
Because I just got a feeling that that's where they'll go with it. Especially.
But then doesn't that mean the Fantastic Four have had to have been around for a while? Which means how have we not seen them yet?
Off-world, dealing with quantum stuff.
No, you can't just quantum your way into this.
It's always quantum.
But in saying that, hey, you know how in Eternals, in the trailer, they show you that explosion that happens because of the snap with Iron Man again, and it set off the chain events for whatever they're dealing with. What if that same explosion that happened in space is the same explosion that causes Reed and his team to get their powers? Hey?
Could be. You know, hey, I like it. I mean,
up here.
I feel like I don't want to go down the line of there too many things of being like, oh, the snap created this.
That's what they're going to do.
It looks like we're going. The snaps mess with the Eternals, but it's also going to mess with what it could create the X-Men at the same time.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the snap. The snap is everything.
It's going to create Inhumans as well, probably.
Tony died, so we can get Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine.
I'm in for that.
that's why he died. He sacrificed. Robert Downey Jr. sacrificed the rest of his career for Hugh Jackman, and we'll take it.
Oh, absolutely. What else do we have here? We've got news that Bill Murray has filmed a scene in Ant-Man. Bill Murray in Ant-Man.
Okay, tell me who he could be, because I've got no idea. It's Bill Murray.
Honestly,
Is Bill Murray Bill Murray?
This is what I'm thinking. At this point, I think he's just playing himself. That's all he does now. There's this really cool story I've heard of Bill Murray, which is that he walks into like restaurants in New York or wherever he is, and will just like take food off someone's plate and say to them, "No one will ever believe you," and then walk away. Because like, then he's expecting that person to be telling the story one day of, well, Bill Murray came in and took some food off plate. They're like, no, he didn't.
But now he does it too much, and everyone's going to be like, oh, it's just Bill stealing food again.
Yeah, Bill did that to you too, did he?
Oh, Bill just doesn't want to pay for his own meal, so he's just stealing people's food.
People like handing him food on the streets, being like, you
Genius. Genius move.
Well, he is a genius.
Way to just ultimately snack the whole time.
Yeah, it's the old Robert Downey Jr. of having food on set.
Yeah,
that's the
way
it goes, isn't it? All right, what else do we have here? Any other Marvel news in movie news? We do have Kevin Feige coming out and saying, hey guys, cool it with the Spider-Man rumors. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, he's shutting people down, isn't he?
I don't mind it. I really don't.
Because he doesn't want to see another thing happen like WandaVision.
Mephisto confirmed.
Mephisto.
But it's the point. Like, it's going to get to the end of Spider-Man. Tobey and Andrew Garfield aren't going to show up, and people are going to say that was a shit movie.
They're in it.
Because this didn't happen.
They're in it.
This is what I'm saying, man. Like, if
too many behind the scenes of Andrew Garfield have showed up, and he's like, nah, that's not me. It's like, mate, you know what's funny is?
Like you can do crazy things with
not only that,
computers
that leaked footage that came out. What's their name? Who's the CGI people that I watch? I can't remember their name. Corridor Crew went through that video because he said it was a deep fake.
CG. Yeah.
They disproved it and said, no, it's real.
Yeah.
In their opinion, that is fully real footage because nothing about it is anything that a deep fake would be. It's like, oh, Andrew, you liar.
He would have been better off saying it was old footage.
He doesn't want to. Yeah, that's right. But they proved that wrong as well because they went through that as well and said that his hair's different. Everything about that to now, you look at new photos of him now, it's like it's the same hair. But you look at him back then when he was filming Spider-Man, different hair.
Look, man, call it. Kevin Feige says call it.
No, I'm not calling it. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this movie. Confirmed. 100%.
I did see a still, though, from this film, which was Doc Ock. A nice close-up of Doc Ock.
Yeah.
And his little tentacle is behind him, covered in blood.
Oh, nice.
And I thought, oh, that's an interesting touch.
Killing.
Look, can you imagine this Doc Ock showing up, Spider-Man in his Infinity War thing, having his legs pop out, and Doc being like, nah, man, I'm the only one with legs. I'm going to rip those off.
Rip.
He's like, mine can grab, but yours can't grab.
No, but his can stab.
Yeah.
His can stabby.
Yeah, if he goes kill mode.
Kill mode. Stab.
I love instant kill mode, man. It's so good. Anyway, what else do we have here? We've got, I think that's it for Marvel news in the world of movies. Let's hit some DC news. May as well. We're here. Val Zod project. So this
I am keen.
Yeah. This is the Michael B. Jordan project he's been working on. They have found their writers for this, which is Darnell Matea and Josh Peters.
Yep.
Who've worked on, well, they've just done Transformers: Rise of the Beast, actually, which I'm keen for. They've done shows American Snow, which I haven't heard of, and The Nola. Have you heard of either of those?
No.
Either way, keen for it. If people aren't across it, Val Zod is the last remaining survivor of his universe's version of Krypton.
Yep.
ultimately took on the mantle of Superman and has been a fan favorite ever since, apparently. The cool character, very cool character. And this is all down to Bad Robot, I think, is producing this as well.
Abrams. God damn it.
Abrams. Look, you know the first movie's going to be good.
Well, you know the whole movie will be great until the end. You just can't seem to seal it and send it away. Something happens at the end and he just gets too excited and then it's basically like the Joker says. He is like a dog chasing a car. He doesn't know what to do when he catches it. Just
too many plot lines.
Just things going everywhere.
Look, speaking of that, apparently Warner Brothers has a deal with HBO Max that they will produce 12 movies for HBO Max every year.
Yeah, 12 a year? How good's that? How good is that?
Yeah. Well, this isn't just comic book movies, though. This is
no. It's a bit of everything.
Yeah. So you'd have to think a few of those would be, and we're already seeing it, I think, coming out, which is the fact that we've got Blue Beetle going straight there. We've got Black Batgirl going straight there.
Yep.
You know, so I think there was one more as well. Speaking of Batgirl, we got Brendan Fraser cast.
Yeah.
How you thinking about that?
Well, I don't know, because he's in Doom Patrol.
Yeah, but he's not in Doom Patrol, really. You know,
mate, after seeing him in that Tom Welling show, his acting's not great.
No, he's solid. Come on.
Watch that show and then say that.
Yeah, but even the best actors can have a bad show.
Not this bad. This was horrible.
Come down to writing, to editing, to a lot of things. The direction. You know, I think he's done more good than bad.
He's playing Firefly, so it could be all right.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it won't be him in the suit. It'll be the same sort of thing as Doom Patrol. He'll just do the voice.
So, it was reported earlier this year they were looking for an actor in his 50s to 60s to play a villain who was a disgruntled former firefighter. Pretty much lands Firefly.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
But Firefly's got a big mech suit, so it's just going to be a stuntman in there.
Yeah.
And then obviously you'll see him when the helmet's off or whatever, but then, yeah. Firefly did show up on Gotham as well.
There you go. So that's Brendan Fraser looking like Firefly. Speaking of movies that HBO Max we're going to get from... This one got cancelled. DC's The Trench. Now,
I read about this.
What this was going to be.
And it turns out...
Then someone said it got cancelled and we said, is that a loss? We don't know what that was going to be.
It was Black Manta's movie.
Black Manta was getting his own movie. And now I'm sad we've lost this.
I'm not, because the look of the new suit is amazing and I'm keen, so I'm happy either way.
I mean, couldn't we have had both?
Like a little taco girl.
Yeah. Especially if it was the same actor, same character.
Oh, it would have been
his own thing.
It would have been the same.
You know? So it would have been the same suit, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a bit bummed we're not going to get this.
It is a little bit annoying.
I would love to have seen what Black Manta did on his days off. Just went out being a pirate.
It would have been him and what's his name rebuilding the suit. Who was the dude, the FBI agent in Wanda?
Yeah, John Krasinski.
What? No, in WandaVision.
Oh no,
the
I get it,
FBI agent that does a card trick.
You're not fully across the office, are you?
He was. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I just caught onto it then. Yeah.
Yeah, Randall Parks.
Yes, because he was in Aquaman as well.
Yeah,
and he's the one helping Black Manta.
Yeah.
So it would have been him and Black Manta teaming up and going nuts, which would have been cool.
I'd still like to see more card tricks from him. I'll be honest, it's going to be good.
We're not seeing that in... I hope we don't see any card tricks in Aquaman.
It'd be cool if that's just what he does now. Like every movie he's in.
He just does.
But like, he's still Jimmy Woo.
Just does card tricks.
Just does card tricks. All right, what else do we have here? Dune Part 2 is already pretty far into development, which makes sense because the first one got delayed a fair bit.
Yeah.
So they've probably already been working on this, but it reckons it's going to start filming in the fall of 2022. But didn't we get a release date for October 2023 from memory?
I thought so, but maybe not.
So with the scope of it, you'd think it'd be getting started soon. So I don't know when fall is. When's fall? That's American,
fall for
right?
us is spring. Fall is spring for us.
But fall for them, isn't that autumn?
Yes.
Which is like Halloween?
Yeah, but it's not fall for us. Isn't that... Wait, hang on.
That's fall
yeah,
for
which is
them.
our spring. Which is our spring.
Yeah, so Halloween still happens.
Yeah, around this
same
time.
every year.
Yeah, it's around this
so
time.
2022, it's looking like October 2022 they'll
Yeah.
start filming that.
Give or take.
Yeah. All right. Well, they have to call different things. Come on, guys, just get with the rest of the program.
Would be
What else
nice.
do we have here? We've written a little note on the board here that says Keanu is nice again. Why? Is this news now?
Isn't he just always nice?
So gifted his stunt team on John Wick 10 grand Rolexes each.
Boss man.
Fair to say Keanu's doing pretty well for himself.
Well, it would have been from the movie. Like, he doesn't need them. It was like, what was it for the Matrix? He donated all of his...
Yeah.
He didn't keep a cent?
Well, he lives pretty frugal apparently as well, so...
He's a go.
You know. Saw a video of him the other day as well, helping the production team carry equipment between sets, between shots.
Why is he just so beautiful?
Look,
He doesn't need to
there's
do
beautiful, there's beautiful, and then there's don't let him do that. Like, that's your lead actor. If something happens to him, your production stops. So don't let him load up his arms with production equipment and then walk upstairs.
Let him do what he wants.
I'd draw the line at that. I'd be like,
How dare you tell him?
We're actually gonna carry you up the stairs, Keanu. Like, this is what we're gonna do.
How dare you tell him that he can't do stuff?
I know. It'd probably be really hard to stop him. He'd like sneakily do it.
He'd just be really nice about it, and then you'd feel real bad, and you'd just go, "Oh, go ahead."
Yeah, fine. Okay. Go into yourself. Yeah, you're a whippersnapper. We got a trailer for Lightyear as well.
What'd you think?
I'll say firstly, if I didn't know anything about Toy Story and this was just the first I saw of this trailer, I think it was a gorgeous trailer.
I think they're just trying to pump toys. More toys.
Mate,
That's what I'm looking at it.
The trailer, the way it was shot and then set to Starman by Bowie in the
Yeah,
background.
it was very nice.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I like how they purposely didn't give us Chris Evans doing the voice much.
No, you get like one line.
They obviously didn't want the comparisons between, Tim Allen and whatever.
Yeah.
I probably will watch it, I'll be honest. It looks
You got to
interesting.
remember, it's basically Tim Allen is the toy, Chris Evans is the real.
Yeah, so whatever
That's the
voice
difference.
actor they got to do the voice work for the toy
Is Tim Allen.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's not hard to get your head around. Everyone's cracking the nanas about it. Like, oh, why didn't Tim Allen voice? It's like, because this is that Buzz Lightyear toy that Tim Allen voiced is based on this person.
But also, if you've got
Who is meant to be a real person.
Chris Evans and Tim Allen, you take Chris Evans most of all the time.
Yeah, but not for
Like,
Buzz
that's
Lightyear,
just-
though.
No, you do it. That's what I mean. You do it.
You're wrong.
I'd be like, yeah,
But
okay,
all
let's do it.
people got to realise is two different things. Like, it's not the same.
I like that people are freaking out over the fact that Buzz Lightyear has hair.
Of
Of course he had hair. He was wearing a spacesuit.
He was a
Like,
person.
there was a suit
He's a
over his head the
person.
whole time. Anyway, I don't know. People lose their minds over nothing for no reason nowadays. It's just what you do, isn't it?
They just cry.
Look, speaking of losing their minds, I lost my mind when I saw that John Woo is doing a film. He's coming back. Hasn't done much since 2003, is it? I think he did Paycheck.
Yeah, long time ago. I was reading it this morning.
I think
20
it was
years
Paycheck
it's been.
was his last one. Yeah. With Face Off would have been around there, right? Face Off, late 90s?
Yeah, it was late 90s, I think.
Yeah. Either way, Joel Kinnaman is attached to the next one he's doing, and it's called Silent Night, and it's a no dialogue action film is what it's being called.
That's insane.
I'm on board.
I'm keen to watch it.
It seems right up my alley. Like I'm keen for this. Anyway, John Woo, let's check this out. We also got news that Clerks 3 has gone into reshoots.
Which means it's coming soon.
Yeah. Speaking of this, we got news recently that I'm circling back to Marvel. Sorry, that Multiverse of Madness has gone into reshoots, and I saw a bunch of people freaking out about this.
Well, they've got to do it.
Saying, this means it's going to be terrible, all this stuff, because we only ever hear about reshoots when things are bad. I dropped a little thing into the comment section just reminding everyone that, that scene I put in where Tony snaps his fingers and says, "I am Iron Man."
That was a reshoot.
That was a reshoot, guys.
That was the last thing shot.
Always bad. Sometimes it's that they've seen the film, they've seen the edit and gone, actually, this isn't working. Can you imagine how much they're trying to fix something if they're watching something and saying, you know what, let's go spend another $1 million and get this right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it costs a lot to do reshoots.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think for the extra 6 minutes of reshoots on Justice League were 70 mil.
Yeah.
It's wow.
Yeah.
And half of it's done in Zach's driveway.
Yeah. To save money.
What a champ. And then he doesn't take a paycheck from it at all. It's Keanu.
Oh, man. Anyway.
Does it because he loves it.
Yeah, reshoots not always bad, guys. Come on. Let's just get with the program on this. I think that's all the news we have, man. I think we covered everything in a scattershot approach like we normally do. We have a trailer that we're going to hit here, which is the Netflix new Kevin Hart one, True Story. I haven't seen this yet. Have you seen it?
Yeah. I gave it a watch.
Well, show me, sir. Let's have a look.
It was quite good.
I'm going to hit pause here, guys. True Story is what we're watching. It'll go up on the socials after this, so check it out.
Beautiful. So,
man, Wesley Snipes, the whole time I was like, that looks like a dude who's crawled out of Wesley Snipes.
What do you mean?
How gaunt does he look? He's 1/3 of the size he was in Blade.
Oh, yeah. You gotta remember, he's a lot older now.
Yeah, I know, but man, I was like, is that Blade or is that
no, it's Kevin,
Alfonso?
It's Kevin Hart's brother.
Yeah. Look, we'll give this a go, and
I think it's a cool concept because of the fact that it's Kevin Hart basically playing himself, but then it's not. If that makes sense.
The last movie I saw with Kevin Hart was that one where his wife died and he had to raise the daughter himself.
Yeah.
And that broke my heart. He was so good in that.
Have you watched the one with him and Bryan Cranston?
No.
Where he plays a carer for Bryan Cranston plays a quadriplegic?
No.
Go and watch that.
I will.
That movie is so good. It's another serious Kevin. It's got some light bits to it. Obviously, it's got to because it's Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart.
Funny, but he is talented.
He can act.
Guys, don't sleep on Kevin Hart.
He can act.
I'll watch this. Definitely True Story. Yeah, guys, check that out. It's on our socials. Sev will put that up now.
Yep.
And thanks for joining us. I think that's everything from this
That's
week.
it. We smashed it.
Anything we miss? We'll just double down on the fact that Percy Jackson's better than Harry Potter.
Yes. And we need a new TV show to watch.
Doubling down. Well, we will soon. We'll have
The Witcher.
Witcher hitting soon, which won't be one shots. Won't be
No, we won't have a one shot
because it's all going to get dropped in one shot. So it'll be one shot. We should have a one shot for Eternals coming soon as well. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I think that's everything we got coming, guys. See you next week.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.